All right, welcome back to 3HL Live here at the Mobility Shop, one of the great sponsors of the 3HL Tour. Pat Gregoire here with Justin Fox, CEO and founder of the 3HL. Now, Justin, August 3rd, we know the big date's coming up. It's the 2017 entry draft. Many new players will be taken in that draft. And a lot of people kind of wondering, you know, there was no expansion draft for these new teams.
Yeah.
They're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but there is a little twist in the order of the draft to kind of let them get a head start here.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be having a 12-round draft, but the first 3 rounds will actually consist of only the 4 expansion teams. And I believe it goes Hamilton, Simcoe County,
then Aurora,
and then Niagara is the order of the first 4 teams. So they'll get a chance to draft 3 rounds of players before the other 8 teams get a chance to draft players. So it'll give them an opportunity to kind of stockpile a couple players. I mean, mostly players are from certain regional areas, but it'll still give them a first crack at some of the players coming into the league and some of the sort of the fresh meat, if you will, coming into the league.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with the entry draft, those teams don't have an opportunity to sign free agents like they did last year.
Right.
Even though there was a draft, there was an opportunity for players to sign and sign elsewhere. Right.
Exactly.
So.
And I mean, a lot of the GMs from these teams are out, already on sort of the recruitment path. And I know a lot of them have spoken to a lot of players. So I mean, we did put together a list of sort of our sort of top 150 prospects. A lot of the players on that list, have expressed interest. A large number of them have spoken to, certain GMs. So it'll be interesting to see where some of those players land and, which teams are able to bring them in and lure them in. I get a call, almost daily from some of the GMs talking about previous players and other players and who holds whose rights. So I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, it's starting. The mindset of the GMs is starting where they're trying to build the best possible team for their franchise or for their teams.
Well,
so
with that being said, so I guess the rules for this year, if you played on a team last year, you're not eligible for the draft.
Exactly. So this year, based on sort of going forward, it'll be the 15-man roster from the previous season. That will be sort of your restricted players. Because that wasn't in place when we ended the season last year, essentially what we've done is every player that played on a team last season is ineligible for the draft. And those players are also not free agents. So what will happen is the players will be drafted at the draft. We're going to host a few tryouts, which we'll discuss some dates here. And then once the tryouts are done, we're going to have teams submitting their preseason roster, which will essentially be a 15-man roster. And at that point, then anyone not on a roster will become a free agent, and the opportunity will be for other teams to potentially sign them. So there's a lot of discussion, I'm sure, that's going to happen between the GMs about some players. I know I just had a conversation about half an hour ago about a couple teams where there's players that could play on either team. They're buddies with both GMs, and so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussions. Maybe we've joked, what's the trade bait? Maybe a steak dinner or future considerations or a draft pick.
2018
draft pick, exactly. So it'll be interesting. It's already starting.
Yeah.
The discussions are starting. So
we did see some player movement last year. I know Matt Whitehead.
I think he was the biggest trade of the year.
We saw Matt Whitehead go from the Newmarket Saints to the Milton Flyers and end up having a pretty good season there as well. We saw a couple of players from Oshawa ship over to Kitchener for the final tournament as well. So but I feel like this year, I think we might see some more player movement because there's so much interest from outside of the league. Guys are trying to get in the league and they have to make some space, but there's a lot of good players in the league that should still be in the league, but maybe they're not fit for what certain one teams. GM might think that they are one of the best teams in the league. So we'll have to wait and see, and one of the days that we'll have to wait and see for is those open skates like you did mention. So tell the folks at home, a couple players, if they're getting the itch to be in the 3HL, how they can get involved.
So as mentioned, obviously the draft August 3rd. We're going to have 3 open skates or open tryouts. They will be on August 20th at Canlan Ice Sports York, on August 26th at the Garden City Arena in St. Catharines, as well as August 27th at the Sports World in Kitchener. It's an opportunity for players, who potentially weren't drafted or were drafted, or players who played last season. Basically, it's for everyone, so it's sort of an open skate, open tryout for everyone to get out, show what they've got, and try and get on a team. So.
Yeah, and I actually was talking to Mitch Scott, and he was saying one of the ways that he's looking at some of these new players is he's encouraging players that were in the league last year to come out to kind of help them gauge if their level of play, and not only that, will they work with them, because we've seen in the past there have been a lot of great players that have come out and they haven't worked with certain players. You switch them on a different line, and then all of a sudden, it's an offensive explosion.
Patty
Morgan's a perfect
Charlie
example.
Stevens has said Patty Morgan's on that team regardless.
Absolutely. So I mean, definitely. I mean, there's 3 players on the ice. You better have chemistry with at least one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of those open and tryouts, though, if there's someone watching at home right now and they aren't too sure if they are cut out for the 3HL or who should be trying out for these teams, what do you have to tell them?
I mean, obviously it's open trial, so pretty much it's open to anyone to attend. What we're looking for, though, ideally, I mean, the GMs are going to be there looking, ideally is players that have played junior, maybe, over the past couple of years, just finished up a junior career, whether it's, sort of the OJHL or the OHL. Guys that have maybe gone on down in the States, played in the NCAA, back home now. So sort of, that players maybe finishing up a CIS career. So that's sort of your entry level. And then obviously we're looking, we want this, ideally we're creating a better option for players from the pro ranks. So we're looking for guys that are, maybe have played a couple years pro, whether it's in, the SPHL, the ECHL, overseas in Europe, guys that have played, whatever the, European leagues. We're looking for that opportunity, as we've discussed, to stay at home, would like to continue their career in the pro ranks, as well as, I mean, we'll say, some of the guys that are just finishing up maybe an NHL career have made millions and are now looking to sort of wind down their career, play some pro here in the 3HL, guys in, from the AHL as well. So I mean, that it's sort of a wide range of players, that we're looking at, and so the whole spectrum will be there. And I mean, we've got 12 teams, 15 players a team, so you're looking at 100 plus players. So it should be pretty exciting to see who comes out and who's the next star of the 3HL.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never know. You never know. I mean, there was some surprises out there. I mean, I'll throw out one that Tyler Ryan. I mean, he played pretty well. I mean, he was second in scoring in the league. Didn't have the resume, but could he put it in the net? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you never know.
There's no doubt that Tyler Ryan fits the 3-on-3 style of brand perfectly.
Yeah.
You mentioned Patty Morgan, same example.
Exactly.
Played junior A hockey, and comes out to 3-on-3, plays with Charlie Stevens and Cam Salt,
lights it up,
and absolutely lights it up. So I mean, it is a different sport. The
opportunity is there.
It's almost a different sport.
It is. I mean, it's obviously, it accentuates speed and finesse and skill, right? And so like we've said many times, I mean, there's guys out there that maybe didn't excel in the 5-on-5 game. Maybe it's due to size, maybe it's just due to whatever circumstance. So I mean, you never know, right? If you think you have what it takes, if you think you can keep up, I mean, by all means, come on out to one of the dates. It's an opportunity for guys to get out there and show what they've got. So we're excited to host the 3 tryouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So those 3 tryouts, you see them on the screen, and scrolling down below, write them down. But we will also be posting them on Twitter and all our social media as well. And speaking of which, our schedule will be coming out very soon as well, so you want to keep your eyes peeled for that, and you'll be able to grab your tickets for the 2017 and 18 season for the 3HL Tour. That's another episode of 3HL Live. Pat Gregoire here with Justin Fox. We'll see you later.
Oh, quick! Oh, come on!